Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back to your Strength of Southwest podcast. I'm your co-host, Molly Heydrich.
And I'm your other co-host, Blake Alley.
All right, y'all. Today we're talking about the next subject on our wheel, which happens to be spirituality. Before we start this episode, we want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. What Blake and I are going to be talking about today has to do with our personal beliefs. We're not saying that something is correct or incorrect. We're simply just going to talk about what spirituality is to us and how it affects us. And some of the topic that we're going to be talking about does relate back to religion.
Spirituality can be just like something you do in your day-to-day that just improves your day.
Yeah, just a little disclaimer in the way that everyone has their own belief system. This is just simply Blake and I sharing a little bit of ours. Whatever you believe in, that's totally awesome. We definitely totally support you 100%. And maybe coming out of this, you could see a different side of a different religion that you maybe have no experience with. So spirituality today, to me, spirituality means something that's just good for your soul. Whether that is going to church, painting a picture, playing your guitar, singing in the shower. I sing in the shower all the time. That's good for my soul. Mm-hmm. Things like that. It doesn't just have to be strictly like when people hear spirituality, they automatically think of religion.
Yeah. For sources of strength, that section of the wheel is just kind of a personal or a group kind of thing that you do that's just going to improve your day to day. I think that's how we label it,
Yeah.
So do you have any things like that, Molly?
Yes. So I already mentioned singing in the shower. Definitely a big one for me. If I had a bad day, my gosh, my family gets so mad at me because I just get in the shower and I just belt out a song, and it's great. I'm not the best singer, but you know what? Who cares? Like, it's good for me, just releases all my pent-up energy and anger and sadness and thoughts that I don't want to keep inside of me. And I think that's what kind of spirituality is. It's just kind of like a way to release just kind of like your negative energy and tension is what I would say, is what spirituality kind of means to me.
Yeah. For me, I would definitely agree with all that. I think spirituality is just that kind of thing that's going to improve your day-to-day. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I always ask my, Google Home to, play a positive, upbeat song that's going to kind of set my mood for the day. Because for me, it's like music can really influence my mood. And if I start off the day feeling good, it's gonna set my day for just a better day overall. There's a lot of different ways, and this section is really unique to the person.
Yeah.
So it's a really unique and broad spectrum of the wheel. I feel like it's one that can be overlooked sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like it's definitely an important part of the wheel.
And I think that when people hear spirituality, they do get kind of almost a little bit scared. Mm-hmm. Because, again, just going back to that topic of religion, and I guess, for me, religion isn't, the biggest part of my life. I guess, when I'm having, a rough day in terms of spirituality, I guess there's, other things that I turn to first. When I am feeling just, bored or mad or upset or sad and all of the above, I like to draw and paint and all that stuff like that. So I doodle. That's what I did for 45 minutes last hour. I've been drawing an eye the entire time.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who, for their kind of section of spirituality, to help improve their day-to-day or just, improve the way they're thinking, they'll pray, they'll pray and just, it's hope for better days, hope that this person who's not doing so well gets better. hope for this and that, you know? There's that's one way that people use spirituality to kind of help improve their mental health and things like that. I think spirituality kind of it can be like I could see it like things you do with your family,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
I think that a lot of like the wheel ties into a lot of spirituality. You know, like positive friends, family, mentors. A big one for me is generosity. I mentioned in our generosity episodes, plural, that I spend my Sundays at my church helping with my little special needs kiddos. I make sure that they're having a good time, that they learn about God, and that they feel comfortable in their environment, and they get to try new things. And I guess for me, like, if I have an awful week, I am always, always, always excited to go there on Sunday, because I know that no matter what kind of mood I'm in, I can walk in, be immediately just engulfed in hugs, and everything in the world seems right, like in that one specific moment.
And I think a lot of stuff that like spirituality can also tie into, it can tie into like culture.
Yes.
You know? It's like someone's culture can be spiritual, like depending about like holidays.
Yeah.
You know, like what holidays you celebrate, you
Yeah.
know, being like Christmas or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, like
Easter. Celebrate
you know.
Easter.
I know there's also like Chinese New Year and like things like that. I'm not super well educated, but I know there's like so many different holidays and so many different like events that aren't even classified as holidays.
For every single culture.
For every single culture. And like I feel like holidays and things like that, events like that, can tie into spirituality and really improve someone's mood.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like around the Christmas time, I'm
always happier.
Always happier around that time. And I just think that's a part of my spirituality. That's a part of my culture that I know people who don't even like practice religion. They'll celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just a time that they enjoy and they have a fun time doing.
Yeah, and it just kind of goes back to the spirituality is so different from person to person. You know, like I'm sure that something you've talked about is good for your soul is theater.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, that's not something that I would consider as a part of like my spirituality. You know, like for me, my spirituality is going and playing with my dog, or like I said, going and doodling and painting and whatever. And it really just depends on person to person, no matter like who you are or what you want to be. It really just kind of depends on, again, what you think is good for your soul and what can lift you up on a bad day.
Yeah. Like, and that's what I really love about the Sources of Strength wheel. And I think spirituality personifies this the best, is how diverse it all is. It covers such a wide range of topics, and each of those topics has such a wide variety in it. Just going back and looking at each of our episodes, family can be a lot of things. Friends, positive friends can be a lot of things. Mentors can be so many things.
They all overlap.
They all overlap. And I think spirituality is that part of the wheel that is so diverse. Because it ties into a lot of things. In generosity, it can cover a lot.
Actually, something that is coming up here at Southwest is indeed Diversity Week.
Yeah.
And Diversity Week is last year was so fun.
I loved it so much.
So much fun. You know, it's just like, I don't know much about other people's cultures. I'm kind of ashamed to admit that, but I'm not the most well-educated person when it comes to the topic of diversity. And I think that Southwest does a really, really good job of making sure that if you want to learn about someone else's culture, you can. And that's what diversity was it was so much fun, because you can see all these people from different areas of the world, from different walks of life, from different cultures, from different races, from different skin colors, all of the above. Like, they all come together, and you can really just see what kind of community Southwest is, and what kind of community we have here, and what kind of community we're building in the upcoming years. And for me, Sources of Strength is a big part of that.
Yeah. I remember during the diversity, the assembly we had, it was kind of like a whole performance. And I was in broadcasting at the time, so I was down there and filming all of it. And it was such amazing. And, like, looking back at that footage, it's like, it was such a, like, you had so much there, and it covered with such a wide spectrum. And it really shows the diversity that we do have here at Southwest.
Yeah, you know? and it did give everybody who wants to an opportunity to share where they come from and who they are on paper and in their mind and in their heart and in their soul. Mm-hmm. Going back to spirituality.
Yeah. But, you know, spirituality, it really is a really positive section of the wheel. Because instead of what it goes to show, instead of showing like how like argumentative we can be about things, it can show how positive we can be about differences, because differences are the things that make us us, you know? It's like everyone's different, and everyone does something different, and that's an amazing thing. Mm-hmm. It's crazy how diverse and how much there is below the surface on a person.
For sure.
And how their spirituality, no matter what it may be, how it can be a really positive aspect on their life.
And I think that you can tell a lot about a person from their spirituality. Mm-hmm. You know, what they do in their spare time. You know, for some people, it may be reading a book. For other people, it's just doing something creative. For other people, it's going for a run or playing your sport. Other people, it's taking a nap. I'm definitely one of those people.
Yeah.
Not ashamed. Like, it's so different for everybody, and it can tell you so much about a person. And I think that is why this is one of my favorite sections on the wheel.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, there's a lot to spirituality.
There is.
I'm really not educated enough to, like, talk about how diverse and all the different things it can represent. And, you know, it kind of bums me out. Yeah. You know? But there's so many different things that your spirituality can do for you, you know? And it's just one of those things that anyone can really have, and anyone can have so many different kinds of spirituality, and you can have multiple different kinds of spirituality.
Yeah, for sure.
And it can really help you.
And, you know, like, if you find yourself, you know, thinking, like, I don't really have, like, a spirituality, you know, something like that, find something that makes you happy, no matter how freaking pointless it is. Yeah. You know, the doodles in my notebook, no one's ever going to see those, but they make me so much more relaxed, less stressed, happier, you know, things like that. Just go find something or someone that is good for you, that is good for your soul, and that can make you happier on a day-to-day basis.
Like, for me, listening to my positive music every day greatly improves my mood, which we talked about in generosity. You being happy can make other people happy, and you can improve others' days. So my spirituality of listening to music every morning, like positive music and all this, can improve my generosity, which can greatly improve other people's day.
Yeah.
And then I can become a positive friend of that person. And all these sections just tie into each other.
Yep.
And, I mean, if you don't have one section of the wheel that's there for you, there's always another section that can help fill its place.
Most definitely. You know? So just kind of recap, spirituality is anything and everything that is good for your soul. Something that you may not do every day, but when you do it, you feel like a whole new person, and you feel so much happier, more relaxed, and more just ready to take on this crazy, stupid thing called life. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, as usual, guys, our social medias, Instagram is at @bbfw_strength. Our TikTok is the same thing. And our Twitter is at sources, capital S, capital W. Like I said earlier, guys, Diversity Week is coming up here at Southwest. Please, please, please take part in it. Learn about other people's spirituality, where they come from, and who they are. You will not regret it, I promise. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.